Good afternoon. We will start again. Can you hear my voice now? Please let me know. Just as well. Okay. So it will give me a chance to say hello. It was me. That's what happens when I've got no technical engineers here with me to help me set up. So I know there was a few of you saying hello there. Is that better? Good afternoon, Jackie. Good afternoon, Ruth. Good afternoon, Jill. Good afternoon, Marika, Sue. Can you hear me now? Please check in. Okay. So I'll wait to see if somebody's telling me there's a voice. Is there a voice? Have you got a voice now? Let me know if you've got a voice. Loud and clear. Yes, thank you. Okay, so as I was saying, what we're going to be doing is these Tuesdays, 12:30, every single Tuesday, I'm going to be doing really short 15 to 20-minute breaks on posture brain reset. So they can be done anywhere, anytime. Let's see if we can just catch you unexpectedly somewhere. I've just come in from a walk, so I've just grabbed the stool that I've got available, so it doesn't matter what, we're going to be able to adapt whatever you've got to hand. If you are already sitting and you're working at a desk, I'm hoping that you've got the setup correctly. So if you are walking from a desk, I'm hoping most of you will know that the setup is so that your knee will be just fractionally lower than your hip and that your heels are firmly on the ground. I'm sitting right on the edge of my stool so that I can get my heels closely on the ground. So what we're going to be talking about here is creating posture by design, not by circumstance. So how can we consciously be aware of what's happening? So there's no such thing as a right or wrong posture, as many of you have heard me say, and a good posture is a moving posture. So we don't want to get fixed into any particular posture, and that's about becoming aware of our habits and our movements all the time. And so what we're going to be discussing today is about the intelligence of your body and neuroception. So neuroception is another word for the autonomic nervous system. And your autonomic nervous system and your neuroception works without the involvement of your brain, and it is this intelligence, and it's looking around outside using all of your senses to see what's around in the environment. Are you safe, and what's happening? It also reads your posture gestures. So sometimes your posture reacts to what's happening in the environment. It's funny, as I've just said that, there's an ambulance side, there's a police siren that's just gone across, reacts to outside things. Or if your posture is like this for prolonged periods of time, it is sending messages back through your neuroception. And what this posture signifies is either going to sleep, okay, so things start to slow down and close down, or it signifies a freeze response. And the freeze response is part of the fight and flight freeze response. So that what happens when you're going. So freeze, when people say that they it's often in a trauma response. When people say things feel surreal or they feel zoned out, that is a freeze response that's going on. So extended periods of time, you can imagine then that things start to shut down in the body as this close down in this freeze response. So let's all experience this for a little bit. Imagine maybe that's just a sense of falling asleep or what this feels like. And what we're going to do now is find the opposite. So notice what you've got going on here. You've got the pelvis. We're going to work with the pelvis, the chest, and the head. So your pelvis currently will be tucked under. That's what I want you all to do. You feel this rounding of your shoulders and this curling into the head. Let's move those 3 body weights in the opposite direction. So I call this sad puppy tail. Let's tuck that out and create your happy puppy tail. Really stick your tail out, arch your back, lift your chest and look up. We're then going to dangle your arms by your side and turn your palms forwards. Lift the arms out by your side a little bit and start to draw your hands towards each other behind the back of the body. So you're squeezing the back of your hands towards each other. Now keep lifting your chest, lifting your eyes, and let's sense that this is a counter pose to the counter posture to the one you were just experiencing a moment ago. So again, you wouldn't want to be in prolonged periods of time, but this is quite rare that we would be, but this is just finding this counter. If you want, you can then also flex your wrists right back. So let's take a slow, deep breath in. And as you breathe out, let's return to that other position. So let's just recap. This position here, okay, is either a really comfortable, safe sleep position. So what happens is when we're curling up and going to sleep, or it's your freeze response when you're reacting in. And what this does is prolonged periods of time, you can lift your head up and look as well, as this is often what happens when we're there, if you're on the computer at a desk as well, is you can see and feel that prolonged periods of time in sitting, because we don't sleep like this, prolonged periods is sitting like this creates a lot of compression on your heart. It's really not good for your heart, and you can feel it squashes through into your digestion, and it stops the breathing being deep. It's compressing the diaphragm, and again, so this all will then trigger off. If your breathing then becomes shallow because you're collapsed like this, it will then also trigger into that fight or flight response because your breathing's all in the top chest. Okay, let's find that counter pose. Let's come up, extend the tail, palms forwards, lift the head, flex the wrists back. And now sense how much space that's giving you. Feel that freedom in the heart, that opening at the heart, how that's giving this in your solar plexus, how the diaphragm and the belly can be free and open. Flex the wrists right back. And while you're doing this, notice you gaze with your eyes. Can you gaze out of the corners of your eyes? Now, peripheral vision, again, is signaling your neuroception that everything is safe and relaxed, as opposed to when you're looking at one-pointed stuff, that's like sort of, that is fight or flight or predatory. It's old predatory mode is to be single pointed. It's not something we should sustain for long periods of time. So soften your eyes and look at everything around you, peripheral vision. See how much you can see all at once. And then let's just find a midpoint neutral. We're very quickly now going to just play with the 3 body weights. I'm going to begin with the head. So let's just nod the head. And I'd like you to keep looking forwards as you nod the head. So can you get your chin right to your chest? And can you get your head right back? So just with your eyes. And then stop when your nose is looking straight where your eyes are. Draw your chin into your chest. Lovely. Keep looking forwards and turn your head from side to side. So you're single pointed looking at one point in front of you, turning your head from side to side. Keep your breathing nice and soft through your nose. And then looking straight forwards. Now let's play with your arms. Let's just rotate your arms. Can you wind them round? And what happens is that often we end up with our arms and our shoulder blades anteriorly rotated, so they're in this rounded position. It's a bit exaggerated that, but they end up staying here. So we're trying to find neutral. So what I'd like you to do is take your other hand and place it so that your fingers can find basically the top of your shoulder and your thumbs on your collarbone. Okay, and as you do this winding of your arm, see if you can feel how your shoulder presses in and out. Okay, so what I'd like you to be able to do is keep this space as you turn your palm forwards. Now don't let your shoulder move forward into your hand. Can you turn just the lower arm from the elbow downwards and not let the upper arm rotate to let your shoulders forward round? So keep your shoulders so you can sense what's happening with this finger. Okay. And then let the palms just face inwards towards your chair so you feel like you've got this space opening your collarbone. Can you feel the difference between the shoulder you've just focused on and your other arm? And now, while continuing to keep this space here, can we just move the pelvis? So can you tuck under into sad puppy tail without letting this collapse here, and happy puppy tail here. So what we're doing is playing where neutral is with those 3 body weights. So where's neutral? So once you've found that full range, really I'm going to move my hands so you can see this full range, that's extension, that's happy puppy tail. And that's really set up, keeping this up. And then where's neutral? Neutral, most people, when they try to sit upright, come into far too much extension. Can you find and soften? That is, okay. And then once we've got that point, we've set the pelvis, the chest and shoulders, and the head. Lean forwards and back. Without changing the happy puppy, sad puppy tail. So you stay in your neutral and you just pendulum. It's like an upside down pendulum. So what you don't want to feel is as you lean back that your lean comes from the waist. Does that make sense? If it was just things, it's the whole thing that goes back together. Just trying to see if you can see how that alignment through the spine there. Okay, lovely. And then it's a bit like Goldilocks porridge. It's always about finding, is it too little, too much, and where's the middle? Okay, so do you remember what we've done there? We've worked through the pelvis, finding where the neutral is in that. We've then worked through the chest and the arms, so winding. So when you wind the arms, you can really exaggerate that. So can you keep the pelvis in neutral and wind just the arms and find the neutral? And then find the neutral in the head and nod and draw the chin right back, and then find your sway. And that's how you find your neutral position for sitting. So this becomes a really comfortable position. And when you get it right, I was going to say when you get it right, when you search, because there's no such thing as right or wrong, well, you'll find it as an equal balance. It feels effortless. So sitting correctly, like they say in this posture, shouldn't feel like effort. You're not, when people use the words upright, it reminds me of uptight. It shouldn't feel like you're fighting gravity. We are perfectly balanced with tensegrity inside. It's rather than thinking of as just there's this beautiful symmetry that goes on inside to help us just be effortless. And I'm hoping that's what you're sensing right now. And so just to complete, let's just go back to your eye gaze. So can you sense everything in the room while you're still softly gazing forwards? Can you be aware with your eyes what's above you, the sides of you, what's below you? So your eyes are taking in the bigger picture. Relaxed, open-field eyes, soft gazing, looking at everything at once and nothing in particular. And while you're doing that, let's savor, smell the moment, remembering a favorite smell, breathing in, contented sigh of your breath out. And again. And one more, always in threes. And just find a smile. So how was that's posture brain reset number 1. That will be This is on every Tuesday at 12:30. So the aim being that whatever you're doing, wherever you are at any point in time, you'll be able to just quickly take some little snippets, and this will be available for you. It is on YouTube as well. If you can't find this on here, they are being filmed on YouTube. But wherever you are, just you can use this now anytime. Just pick up, and they'll be coming up with a fresh one every single week. Just to put in these little snippets in, it can make a real difference to the chemistry that goes on, as we talked about inside, with your neuroception of like that creating sort of, they've found that this posture, when you get this posture, it will actually lower the cortisol levels in your body. And it will actually help with your vagus nerve to let everything slow down, feel safe, which I think is something that's really important right now. And it can be experienced by creating that in your posture, in your neuroception. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you very much. And make the most of that. I know this is our first one, so if there's a few of you there, do pop on and say hello, and I will. How long did we go for? It was just 20 minutes. We did spot on. So thank you very much. Like I said, every Tuesday I will be here doing a posture brain reset. It'll be something different. Won't always be sat down. Sometimes it'll be stood up. Sometimes might be out on the move. I might do some outside if I'm out on a walk, just to try and get something different in every single week. You can replay these and use them. I'm trying to keep them really short, into in a nutshells of things that you can just be quickly bringing into your everyday. Thank you very much. Have a good day. I believe I have already had a quick walk outside, but that sky today is gorgeous. It's a blue sky, so I'm looking forward to getting out there. So have a lovely day, and I shall see you all soon. My next session that I'm going to be doing on this channel is on Friday morning at 9:45, and I'm going to be doing a walk well session. So walking well, we talked about last night. So me and Joe were saying that, people often say, well, why do I need to learn to walk? It's the same as why people say, why do I need to learn how to breathe? Am I not just breathing anyway and walking? It's the same thing. You take about 20,000 breaths a day, sort of understanding the quality of how you breathe and breathing techniques. There's lots of, for different reasons, you can do different breathing techniques with your feet, and learning how to walk. Really, really simple, understanding sort of everything from the arches in your feet to where the balance is. With those of you who've done some of this work before, the 9-point step in your 9 points on your feet, learning how to walk, how to stand, how to balance, and how, neuroception, and also fine-tuning is sensory feedback. The more and more and more that you notice and take time to notice, the richer the feedback is that you get back. We're all artists, and that is a bit like how artists train to see sort of like, more and more colors and more things that are around. A musician trains to hear more and more sounds. That is the same for sensory feedback. Just the more and more you notice, the richer that feedback is. And then therefore you can respond more, you get more pleasure, your body can be more comfort, you get a lot more, you're more in the moment, because there's a lot more, you're more present with your senses. So there's a lot to be said for fine-tuning that sensory feedback, keep being present with it. So Friday morning, I'll see you at 9:45 for Walk Well. Well walks, we're doing so in terms of understanding movements, and then how literally every step you take and how you stand is going to affect right through into your posture. So I hope you've enjoyed the session. Lovely to see you all, and I hope to see you on Friday morning. Have a good afternoon. Bye.